Hello again, everybody. Hey, today I thought I would show you how to make a table for a portable miter saw. Now I've got larger miter saws that I'll take for larger jobs, but for a smaller job where you just have to do a few pieces of trim, a smaller portable miter saw like this is pretty handy for taking to job sites. Or actually, since I sold my shop property, I actually had a whole wall dedicated to a miter station in the shop property. And when I moved in here at the house, I just kind of threw everything in here and I didn't really lay anything out too well. So I thought I'd go ahead and show you guys how to make a miter saw table for this smaller size miter saw today. And so stay with me and I'll show you step by step how to do it. Okay, the first thing we want to do is we want to take some measurements of the saw itself. So figure out basically how much room we need on this table for our saw. So you start by go ahead and we'll open up the saw all the way to the one side. And I've got a piece of painter's tape here on the table so we can see, and I've already put a mark there on basically how much room I need on this side of the saw. And then we'll go ahead and move it to the other way. And same thing over here. I've got another line marked where I'll need room for the saw all the way open. And what I'm going to do on this particular table is I'm going to make the top part an overall 48 inches long. And then what I'll have is I'll have another hinge piece that will be underneath here that will actually fold up and unfold and provide another 48 inches of length. So that's the general concept that I'm going to be working from here. Now that I have the overall measurements of the saw, I made a drawing to figure my material cuts. I always draw what the project will look like from a bird's eye view and from a front-on view. These two views give me a cut plan for the material pieces I'll need to build the miter saw table, as well as a two-dimensional representation of what the final project will look like. Since I'm building this myself, I'm not concerned about proper scale or neatness when I create the drawing, as long as my accurate measurements are shown. The wood I'll use to create the miter saw table will be 1/2 inch and 3/4 inch cabinetry plywood, 2 sections of 48-inch long T-rail, 2 T-rail flip-up stops, 3 latch clamps, and a 12-inch piano hinge. First thing I did is cut all the wood pieces I need for the build. I always start by cutting the largest piece first, then work my way to the smaller pieces. This minimizes the amount of waste. This is the first piece I will cut, the miter saw platform, seen here in the drawing I made. The piece I'll be cutting is 22.5 by 17.5 inches. So I start by ripping the 1/2 inch material to 22.5, the largest of the two dimensions I'll need for this piece. Then I need to cut the 17.5 inch dimension of the miter saw platform. Because I have limited room in my home shop, I cut the 22.5 inch material freehand with a skill saw about 1 inch larger than I need, and then I true up the piece with the table saw. In this case, my material had already been cut once before, so I had to make 2 cuts to make sure that I had a perfect 22.5 by 17.5 inch piece. The next pieces I want to cut are the sides of both halves of the miter saw table, outlined here in the drawing. These 4 pieces will be 7 inches by 48 inches and are cut out of the 1/2 inch cabinetry plywood. My miter saw gets to help in the build. Here I'm cutting the 7-inch pieces to 48 inch long. Next, I mark off the depth cut area of the miter saw table. In this case, the cutout is 3 5/8 deep by 22.5 inches wide. Note on my second mark of the 3 5/8, I used the speed square as my tape measure instead. Then I connect the 2 vertical marks with a horizontal line with a straight edge. Marking the other side of the table saw section of the miter saw table is easier. I line up the side I just marked with the unmarked side, then mark and draw the vertical lines, then connect the vertical lines with a horizontal line as I did before. There are many different tools you can use to cut the depth cutout of the sides. I chose to use my jigsaw with a fine-tooth blade. Notice I clamp one end of the material to my table to keep the material somewhat stable while I'm cutting. This is what the 2 side pieces of the saw section of the miter saw table look like facing each other after the depth cutout is made. I want to make sure the ends of my miter saw table sections are strong since I will be hinging them together, so I cut the ends out of 3/4 inch cabinetry plywood. These 4 pieces will be 7 inches by 11 inches. Notice how I kick out the scrap at the end of my cut to keep the table saw from kicking the waste back at me while I'm cutting. Not a good thing. Now I start putting together the table saw section of my folding miter saw table. I'll put it together with glue and staples. I start by attaching the 1 3/4 inch end piece, or spreader. Note that the interior spreaders are made out of 1/2 inch plywood. This is to reduce weight. Then I glue and staple the other side of this section to the miter saw table. Here I test fit the miter saw support platform and check to make sure I can swing my saw both directions without hitting the sides of the table cutout. Before I put the top on this section of the miter saw table, I want to install something to attach the miter saw fence to when I install the fence later. I used some L-shaped 3/4 inch plywood pieces I had left over from another project. I also installed the same material under the miter saw support platform. I'll be able to attach 2 of the mounting screws to these. This is what the miter saw section of the miter saw table looks like from the underside. The other 2 mounting locations of the table saw are outside of the 12-inch width of my miter saw table, so I made some custom corbels out of a 2x4 to act as supports for the other 2 mounting locations. Here's how I made custom corbels that will support the other 2 mounting locations of the miter saw. I install the corbels with glue and staples from the inside of the miter saw section, lining them up with the L-shaped mounting points inside the miter table that I installed earlier. Note the overhang of the miter saw support platform. These corbels will make sure the platform doesn't sag over time under the weight of the saw. Here's the other half of the miter saw table already assembled. Note that I installed mounting points on the underside of this top also in anticipation of installing the saw fence later. Here I have the miter saw tables stacked on top of one another, ready to be connected with the piano hinge. This is a good way to start mounting the piano hinge by laying it over at a 90-degree angle. Can anybody see my error? In attaching the hinge, I didn't account for the width of the center of the hinge, which is about 3/16 of an inch. I should have put a piece of 3/16 inch material under the hinge where it bends over the box to make sure that my miter saw halves are lined up when I open up the table. I'll discover my mistake and correct it later. Since I don't install piano hinges every day, I forgot the details. Here's how you attach the piano hinge to the other half of the miter saw table. When the table is folded up, I'm going to make sure that it stays folded, so I install a latch clamp on the end opposite of the piano hinge. I like this brand of latch clamp because they are adjustable. Here's how well the clamp works once it is installed. I also installed latch clamps on the sides of my table sections where they come together. These clamps make sure the table stays firmly attached to each other when the table is opened. Next, I need to cut one of my T-bars to a shorter length fence that will be on the miter saw section of the miter saw table. I use my angle grinder with a cutoff blade installed, cuts through the aluminum T-track like butter. Here's the completed foldable miter saw table, all ready for work. I designed it for job site use, so it is intended to usually be set up on sawhorses. Here's how the saw folds up. First, move the sawhorses so that both sawhorses are under the miter saw section of the table. Then unlock the latch clamps and begin turning the table in a clockwise direction as you are folding the sections together. When the 2 sections meet, connect the latch clamp that holds the 2 halves together. There, ready to move to the next job. I really like the multiple flip stops because you can set the saw up to cut multiple lengths of material. This is really handy when doing jobs like picture frame molding, trim around windows, or any cutting where you have to make precision cuts of multiple lengths. Features of the table. The two sections are firmly locked in place with piano hinge and latch clamps. The T-track on top of the fence allows for precise measurements and repeated cuts of multiple lengths of material. The saw has 4 firm mounting points, and the fence is firmly attached to the tabletop with pocket hole screws, glue, and support blocks. This table should stand up to years of abuse. So if you like this video, be sure to subscribe, like, and leave comments. And please leave comments requesting topics or projects you would like me to make videos of, and I'll try to fit it in with my schedule. Thanks again for watching. See you on the next one.